Hello there, I am John Baird. I was born on the 2nd of October 1877 in Kilmarnock, a wee village south of Girvan. My mother was called Elizabeth, but sadly I only have a few memories of her. I had one big sister, Janet. She was 2 years older than me. My father, Hugh, was a farm worker, so we moved about to wherever he could find work. By the time I was 4 years old, we were living in Maybole, and we were still there 5 years later when my mother died suddenly. I still don't understand what happened, but just 3 weeks later, I found myself a pupil at Alloway Public School. It was thanks to a Mrs. Hutchison that I was put into school. Like a lot of things in my early life, my memories are vague. I don't really know who she was, but I'm forever grateful to her for changing my life. 2 years later, my father married again. My stepmother already had 3 boys, and about this time, Janet went away to work, so my life changed once again. I had a new mother and 3 new brothers. When I left school, I got a job at the co-op in Ayr, and life changed again. I met Jessie McCulloch. She was 5 years younger than me, and she was a clever young woman working as a clerkess. We married on the 27th December 1905. The next September, we had our firstborn, wee Hugh, named after my father. By this time, I was 26. We were living in Newton, and I was working as a vansman. Just in case you don't know, the co-op delivered folks messages to their houses using a horse and cart, and the vansman was in charge of the horse and the cart and the deliveries. We were doing well, and we wanted a bit more space, so we decided to move to Hunters Avenue. We were living there when we had our second child, Jessie, named after my mother. Very sadly, our third child, John, he was born prematurely in March 1913, and he died at 5 weeks old. We were heartbroken, but my life was about to change once again. You see, this is where Mrs. Hutchison, getting me into Alley Public School, and Jessie's smart brain both came into play. I was taking food to people's houses. I could see what people liked to buy and what better off folk wanted to eat, so we made a big decision. We decided that we could run our own business. We opened up our own fruiterer's business. It was a huge step for us, and it was a step that a wee 9-year-old boy from Kilmarnock with no mother never thought he would take. Well, things were fine at first, but of course, in the autumn of 1914, we found ourselves at war. I continued with the business, but by 1916, I had to join the army. In September of that year, I joined the Ayrshire Yeomanry, and by November of 1917, I was in France. I won't pretend that I wanted to be a soldier. I wanted to stay with Jessie and the children. But I still did my very best. My captain described me as respected, liked, brave, and reliable. By January 1918, I'd been transferred to the Royal Scots Fusiliers. We were fighting near the French town of Arras. Conditions were grim, but it wasn't all that bad. We had New Zealand and Maori troops near us, and I saw them doing the haka, and I must admit, it reminded me a wee bit of Mabel at closing time. We were also visited by King George V, as well as the Belgian King Albert and the French President Clemenceau. However, none of them were with us on February the 8th, 1918, when a German shell landed in the trench, killing me instantly. I was 40 years old. I'm buried in Boyel Cemetery near Arras, and I'm remembered in the War Memorial at Alloway Village Hall and in Alloway School. I'm also remembered in the memorial in Wellington Square, just a few yards from where you're standing. Why not go over and see my name? I would appreciate that.